YouTube, hello, Retro Reclaimer here, reclaiming my retro past. We've got a room tour for you today, a short introduction. So UK game room tour, retro games, that is. That's what I search when I go on YouTube. I always come across North American, massive basements, glorious games room, tons and tons of games and other stuff. UK channels tend to be a bit on the smaller side. We're a bit more limited with space, it seems. So this is a three bed house. This is the third room, which is always a teeny tiny room here in the UK. And yeah, it's more of a tunnel. You could probably tell just now the width of it is very narrow. So yeah, I'll do a quick pan around shortly, and then we'll discuss things in a bit more detail. So. Retro Reclaimer, my name's Kieran. I've been collecting for 9 years now. 9 years this month. I was looking back on some of my old videos actually. And yeah, I started collecting just nostalgia, childhood sort of stuff that I fancied, and then just picking up everything. About 7 years in, so 2 or 3 years ago now. In fact, a little over 3 years ago, I sold most of my collection. I kept a few bits, but I sold the majority of it. Bought a gaming PC, and then 3 months later, I sort of regretted it and started collecting again. So this is probably 3 years. Uh, well, it's obviously 9 years, but once it's all gone, 3 years, it's a steady build of a collection. I'm quite happy and content with it. There's more stuff I want. I've just picked up a decent retro thing very recently, which is I'm waiting to come in the post. So that'll be in the next pickups video. But yeah, so that's me. That's who I am. Let's do a pan around of the room and have a look, shall we? So I'll just move these chairs. As you can see, it's narrow. So door on your way in, we'll start on this side. So obviously we've got the screen there, the main sort of TV, some picture frames which I'll go through shortly. Now I'm going to have to come over here to get myself out of the way. Box consoles up on the top, and then we've got shelving units housing all the different games, and there's CDs, DVDs and stuff like that. We'll go through it all in a little more detail in just a second. There's a window on outside. I've got a good view actually outside this window. You probably won't be able to see, but maybe just see a tower on the hill over there. That's Dorman Tower. Keep panning around. So more frames up here. This is just from my career in the army. They're just up there for safekeeping and they're out the way. Storage, some big units, and Warhammer stuff down there, guitar, more storage, TVs, more box consoles and other stuff. And then this is so seating arrangements. That's Luigi, little Doberman, 14 weeks old. The little beaut. We love him. Being a good boy at the moment, but we'll see if that lasts. So beanbag and a little foot beanbag stool. That's sort of where I'll chill out and play games. And I've got this. Obviously, it's always like this. I've got to shuffle around. I've got this chair for when I'm sat at this desk. This is a bit of a display area. Some teddies or plushies or whatever you want to call them, and then little shrines for Spyro, Halo, Pokemon. We'll go in those drawers in a bit. Here, yeah, so we've got, like every game room should have some poo bags. I literally just pulled them out of my pocket. And then, yeah, some more pictures and some games down there. And then that's it. So, yeah, as you can see, it is quite narrow. But it's pretty good, actually. Quite enjoy it up here. And I've made use of the space. So, again, we'll just start from this way and we'll just talk about things. This is just the day we got married. That's what you would have seen if you looked up at the sky and it were dark. A little Star Wars area. So we got the Millennium Falcon there. This is Kenny Baker signed this for me at an event at Turf Moor at Burnley Football Club shortly before he passed away. This is it's actually, I've cracked the glass here, so I need to get another one. But that's a reel, film reel, which I was collecting the D'Agostini Star Wars fact file. What a waste of time, but that's sort of a free gift I got. Some little Star Wars mini pops there. And then this is just a DVD collection, which I don't really collect DVDs, but I picked this up from a charity shop for a couple of quid. It's just something I had when I was younger, and the thing with Star Wars is how many times it's been re-edited and remastered, and there's just different versions of stuff on there. In particular with this one is an early demo of Star Wars Battlefront, the original one, and it's got a few differences to the game, but you can actually put that in your Xbox and play it. It's pretty cool. Transformers Armada, they're just some of the best episodes. Again, something I watched when I was younger. Halo, these are just DVDs that we've picked up over the years. This is my Pass Off Parade, wedding photos, and just random CDs. They just want binning, to be honest. This is really good. It's just history of mankind throughout all the ages. Sharp, Lost. And then we've got the Pokemon posters. This is an original 2000. It's not going to focus on the date. You got 2000. This is original poster for the original 150 Pokemon. I remember it when I was younger, and I had a quick look on eBay about a year ago. Found that and decided to buy it, get it framed, and put it up on the wall. Right, so the TV. We just step over Luigi. Even the dog's got a gaming name. So the TV is a Toshiba. It's like C something in a set of numbers, but it's pretty good. I think it was manufactured around 2003. So coming towards the start of all the LCD flat screens and stuff like that people were having in the common house or whatever. But it weighs 80 kilos, which is obviously super heavy and hard work getting up the stairs. But yeah, I picked this up the end of last year. 30 quid I think I paid for it, and it's just improved my gaming experience massively. It came with these speakers. What are they called? Koi. But obviously Toshiba speakers. There's one up there, one up here, so I've got 5.1 surround sound, and it's just it works. So let me go down. So the DVD player here, again same brand. You can basically connect these. So I've got the PlayStation, the PS1, the Xbox, all connected through the DVD player. So that acts as like a splitter, if you will, and it also acts as the sound, so I control all the sound through there. So whether I want the subwoofer on, which is just down here, obviously just levels the volume and all that and the other. But yeah, it works. I think the Xbox actually works well with it. Some of the others you don't necessarily need it, but you get really, really great sound out of it. And then you just see, need to be careful pushing on here. So some of the consoles down here, we've got a Crystal Xbox, which I've got the box for, a Sega Mega Drive 2, which I've also got the box for, a Slim PS1, which is a standalone one. I've got a boxed version as well. Slim PS2 Silver, I got that not too long ago doing the £5 game challenge. No box for that, unfortunately. Sega Dreamcast, this is the one that was in my very first pickups video 9 years ago, and yeah, that's boxed as well. Okay, so up here we've got, so let's talk about these pictures. It's called Diamond Art. You basically send a picture into this website and they'll send you the right amount of beads, and almost like a paint by numbers, but each little pixel is a bead that you've got to stick on. So my mother-in-law does these, and I think the first one I got was, well, we actually had one of a wedding photo of me and my wife, and then I was like, oh, can I have some gaming ones? So she did me the Mass Effect one first, and these look really good, and you can see how the light reflects off them as well. Mass Effect first, then I got the Red Dead Redemption 2 one. I think that one's probably come up the best just because of uh, the pixels, if you will, the level of detail in the picture itself. One after that is Spyro, and this was a massive one. So she wanted to do a big one. So I found one that had a lot of colour in, and when you go up close, like it doesn't look as good. But when you stood a bit of a distance, they look incredible. You know, they're just better than a standard poster. They're unique. I think they're amazing. What else? So I got the Halo 3 ODST one next, and then the Super Mario one, and then the last one most recently was Tomb Raider. So these are just some of my favourite games, favourite franchises. Mass Effect, obviously my all-time favourite. Halo, Spyro, Red Dead 2 is probably the greatest game ever made. And then I spoke to my mum, and this was coming up to Christmas this year, just gone, and she creates stuff with sewing needles and all that sort of stuff, teddies, cushions. So I said, can you do me a picture? And I chose Sonic Heroes because it was so I'm going, I don't know how many years ago it was, but when the Xbox came out, I've got a Crystal Xbox for Christmas, and the very first game that I opened was Sonic Heroes before the console itself. So just a bit of like nostalgia and a nice little touch to get something from my mum in the room as well. So it took her days and days. I don't know if anyone, is it called cross stitch? I think it's called. We had to draw the picture up first, and then she's had to stitch each and every part of it. So it didn't actually come for Christmas, it came a couple of months after. But yeah, very fortunate again to have something a bit more personal. I'm not a big fan of posters, as you'll see. This one's a poster, but that's why I put it in a frame. They just look better in frames. So yeah, so that's those. This shelf I put up a couple of days ago, and I didn't really know what to put on here, and I decided to put my Warhammer stuff on. So again, Warhammer, I think I'm going back, I bought this set probably about 6 or 7 years ago, and that's as far as I've got with painting them all. It was the first, so I'll talk about this because Marcus, if you're watching, obviously Tommy collects a lot of Warhammer. This is the Age of Sigmar, and it was the first it just come out, so this was the first sort of box you could get for Age of Sigmar. So these are called, what are they called? I don't know. I forget what they're called. I think these are called Chaos or something. I don't know. I don't really know much about it all. I enjoy painting them. I've done all the good guys, which are these guys. I did that one quite recently, and then my wife did these guys, the bad guys. And these are some that are in progress. So me and Oscar have done those two at front, and that one at back I did a while ago, but it still needs other parts, and it just shows that this bit you basically spray it with a base coat, chuck your whatever the most obvious colour is, and then from there add a secondary colour, and then you get into sort of highlighting and shadowing and all that sort of stuff. Moving along, we'll go to the game, so we'll start at top. So at top, so that's the box for the Crystal Xbox. It's pretty much complete. If there is anything missing, it might just be a bit of plastic packaging or something. A box for the Oculus Quest 2. I'm not playing a great deal of that at the moment. It seems to have slowed down, but it was fantastic when I first got it. Still play it every now and then. Just not as much of the it's gimmicky. It works really well. Probably, obviously, the PSVR 2's just come out. It won't be as strong as that, but the fact that it's standalone, you don't have any wires connected to you, makes it really good. And there's some great games on there. The Star Wars games are fantastic. Yeah, just waiting for more content to come out on it, really. I've got two boxed DS Lites there, a silver one and a pink one. The silver one is in like brand new condition. House of the Dead 2, I've had this for years now. One of my early pickups videos, that's all box complete. There's no tray or insert as such, but the game's in there, and so is the gun. A little manual as well. Box for the Dreamcast, again, that's complete. It's got I think it might be missing a demo disc. I'm not sure if it came with a demo disc, but it's got everything in there. Dreamcast games, so I'll just hover over these. I might talk about a couple of them. Again, just collected over the years. Shenmue, never heard of Shenmue until I started collecting. Dreamcast was a system I had when I was younger, and it had a short life. I felt that I'd only had it for 6 months or so, and then it were gone. PS2 took over, but yeah, I had fond memories of just a lot of the games, the VMUs, some of the games like Sonic Adventures, one of my favourite games of all time, and even now I play that quite a lot. Since I've had that game, I think I've been through it 3 times. Yeah, Shenmue I bought, and I was just blown away by it. I couldn't believe how great it was, considering GTA 3 hadn't even released and this was out. And I think I paid a pretty penny for it as well. It's in pretty good nick. It's obviously rough around the edges and whatever. Could probably do with a box protector for that. But it's quite cheap now, and I think that was since it came out on the Xbox, so they re-released it or remastered it or whatever they did. Other ones, Dino Crisis, Evolution. This was one. It took me ages to find out this game. I had a very, very small memory of this game, and I was Googling and YouTubing all the RPGs for ages just to try and find out what it was. Flygon, this is the only one that's sealed. Only sealed because I've not bought it yet, and it's not really worth a great deal. So it will be open if I ever come over to play it. Jet Set Radio, fantastic memories of that when I was younger. MSR as well. Yeah, Revolt, Ready to Rumble, some great games on this system. It's why I love it so much. Resident Evil, Sonic Adventure 2, Star Wars. There's so many. It's a great system, and there's not many people who have a great deal of love for it. And it's, for me, it's very, especially for the generation, it's very, as in when you compare it with PS2, Xbox, and stuff like that. I consider it the last retro console. I mean, people debate this all the time, but for me, PS2, Xbox ain't quite. It's old, but maybe not quite retro just yet. And I'd suggest that the Sega Dreamcast is maybe the latest of the retro consoles. I don't know. Some would argue with me, I'm sure. What other games here? Wacky Races, love that. Absolutely loved it. So yeah, it's shame it doesn't get so much love. When people do pick up Dreamcast, I get dead excited and dead chuffed. Ross and Baha recently picked a game up, so it's just good when I see Dreamcast. Next down the line, we've got the PS1. So I'll just talk about this quickly. So here I've got a little key. M is for manual, D is for disc, C is for case. So that tells me that the case wants replacing. As you can see, it's sort of damaged on the hinge. This one has got an orange, which tells me there's a manual missing. So that's missing the manual. And it's just a way of me keeping anything without a sticker is complete. And it's just for me to keep on track on what I need to improve on. Ape Escape, absolutely fantastic game. Really good, makes really good use of the DualShock controller, but just super fun. Broken Sword, most people know this one. We've got some of the Crash games. I've got Crash 3, I need the first and second. Crash Bash, Crash Team Racing. Digimon World is one of my favourite PS1 games. I really want a guide for this. Recently talked about guides in a group with Griffo from Griffo Retro Gaming, and I once had a look on this for eBay, and it was like a couple £100 or so. So there's not many, but I'd love to get the guide for that game. Driver series was, they were fantastic at the time, but since GTA, no one's really bothered about them anymore. Final Fantasy VII, never played this game in my life. I played 5 minutes of it. I do hope one day I get around to giving it a go. Gran Turismo, just pure nostalgia. Putting that on, flicking through the menus, playing the first couple of tracks, just I can't. I'll never. There's never a dull day if you're playing this two-player with someone. Micro Machines again, fantastic game. Some great games that's sort of came out across these systems, and I can have more fun on a lot of these than anything modern. Oddworld again, fantastic series. Rayman, amazing game. Resident Evil, Rugrats. So Rugrats, I remember. So during the time of the PS1, well, I was born in '92, so I'm like 7, 8 years old. 10, pushing it 11 maybe, and so at that age, I watched Rugrats all the time, and not just Rugrats, but other games like South Park, and it was Small Soldiers, another one, and it were great just being able to go on the game and walk about the house because you'd see the cartoon, and generally so Rugrats, for example, they're always in that pen. They've got the garden, the stairs, and when you go on this game and you can roam about. So the first level, if you will, is playing hide and seek, and you get to run about the entire house, and it just felt really immersive. Like you got another bit like Simpsons Hit and Run. You can obviously with a program on telly, you only see what's put in front of you. Whereas this, you can control. You can go where you want, see all the go to like Simpsons Hit and Run, for example, go to Apu's store. So I used to love games just for that reason alone. Small Soldiers, South Park, I had great memories of that game. It's brilliant, absolute brilliant. Then we got the Spyro trilogy on the PlayStation 1. So Spyro 1 I recently played through and completed 100%. Really, really great games, really good platformers. Theme Park World, it's a good one on the PlayStation. Tomb Raider. So as you can see, these PS1 games, it's a small collection, but it's games I'm very fond of. And that's sort of the direction I'm going for with collecting is I'm not just going to buy games that I'm not really have a great deal of interest in. I'm buying games that I really enjoyed when I was younger. I hold a high nostalgia value for, and you can probably tell by the way I'm talking about them. Okay, carrying on. I'm going to try and speed this up a bit because I can see it's already 20 minutes. So we got Mega Drive games. These are all box complete, apart from Sonic 2. Missing a manual, which shouldn't be too difficult to sort out. I'm pretty much there with my Mega Drive, to be honest. Sonic, and I've got the Streets of Rage, Golden Axe, Sonic. They're basically the only titles that I've got a massive interest in. There's probably three. I'd like to fill this shelf with Mega Drive, and that's probably where I'll end up. I never had a Mega Drive when I was younger, but yeah, I used to play on my mates with these. So Switch games, I don't have a massive Switch library. Mainly just Pokemon, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I've played that 3 times, and each time I've got off that start of the island and I've just not picked it up again. I know anyone else say you're missing out, but I just can't get into it. Crash Team Racing. A few Wii U games there, again, not a massive collection. Some good ones, though. We got another Zelda game there, Smash Bros, 3D World, all the Skylanders, Pokken Tournament, Mario Party, Mario Kart. And then PS2, so the stickers go a bit wild here, as you can see. I wouldn't say I'm a collector of the PS2, but it's just easy to come across PS2 games. And again, there's certain ones. So Age of Empires 2, fantastic game, absolutely garbage on the PS2, but it's like 50p a pound. I thought at the time I'm grabbing it just for collectors' reasons. What else? So it's mainly just exclusives, really, I guess, that I'm going for. All this stuff I've not really been actively trying to grab. The Power Rangers games, I bought these when Oscar was into Power Rangers. I say Oscar, I was into it and I got him into it. Ratchet and Clank, so that's certainly a series that I love. Still yet to go through and play all these. I've played the first level of this a couple of times, but I would like to get stuck into those at some point. We've got some of the Resident Evil, Dead Aim and Outbreak games there. More Star Wars games. Spyro, so we've got Into the Dragonfly, and then we've got A Hero's Tale on Platinum here. The Sims, and then we've got a few very small PS3 collection, very, very small. The only one I've actively sought out is Uncharted. And then Xbox One games, I've got these ones here. Again, I don't collect the Xbox One, but they're just games that you end up with. You alright with each? There was movement then. 3DS games. I guess I collect 3DS games. Some of these, so Super Smash Bros. Let's see. I don't really play it a great deal. Again, it's mainly for the Pokemon stuff. So I've got. So anyone who was around when Argos were releasing these, there's still all of those are still sealed. There's only one that I opened, which was Mario Tennis, which is somewhere around here. There you go, Mario Tennis Open. I've got, so mainly, I've got Luigi's Mansion. I didn't know I had that on the 3DS. Oscar's been asking to play that, so I need to get that out for him. So, yeah, we've got Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, Pokemon Sun, Pokemon Moon and Sun. These two are sealed. If I get the camera on them, they're still sealed, so, and in box protectors, hoping that the price will go up like the rest of Pokemon. Pokemon X. So I'm trying to get a few of those back, because I used to have every single Pokemon game on the 3DS. And then I decided to sell up. The DS then, so Mario Kart DS. When the DS first came out, I got Mario Kart DS, and I loved it, absolutely loved it. Another Pokemon there, Ranger Shadows of Almia. WarioWare Do It Yourself, I got that off. Was that the one I got off Woolly Weeble, Duncan? Or was the one it might have been that one, WarioWare Gold, I don't know. I got a Wario game off him. I'm not sure which one it was, can't remember. I'll have to have a look on the videos. And then some Blu-rays there. So when I've got a lot of these 3D Blu-rays. Some of them are like games related, like Tomb Raider and stuff. But if I come across 3D Blu-rays, I'll pick them up, because it's got some Jurassic World ones up there. I really enjoy watching stuff in 3D. And I've got the Blu-ray 3D player, the Blu-ray TV, when it was all popular, so I might as well. And then here we've got Super Mario Galaxy, which is my Wii collection, which is there, very small, and I can't be bothered lifting all that off to put it there, so it's just sat there for now. Some videos, they're old family videos that I'm just holding for my mum. Some PC stuff, some box sets for Blu-ray, and then those PS2 games are they're just taking up space. They're just more than anything the case donors. They're not really anything I'm super excited to have. Okay, this shelf, right, we've already done 28 minutes, so we need to speed it up. So again, just box systems up there. Dreamcast controller, we've got a 3DS, so new 3DS XL. I've still got that, and it's in really good condition. And yeah, there's not many of those going on eBay at the moment, so I'm trying to keep. I mean, I don't ever want to get rid of it, but if the price of it increases, a bit more, I certainly will. There's a box there for the Switch. New 3DS. Unfortunately, I broke that one and absolutely destroyed it. I've kept the box, hoping I'll come across one at some point, but it's unlikely. The Day 1 edition Xbox One, the only console that is original. My only, well, not my only, but it's the only console that I've had on day one, and I can say that's original to me. Everything else has been owned by someone else. My one and only Saturn game. I don't even have a Saturn, but yeah, we've got a game there. GTA double pack, that's still sealed. Forza, these are some of the steel books and the special editions. I went through a stage of collecting all these, and they just, like this one's good, Brothers in Arms, which is the wrong way. They just look incredible. Yes, we even got a FIFA one, look, messy. Yeah, so I don't know, I enjoy steel books. I can't seem to come across them as much. Elite Controller, that is absolutely battered to pieces. But yeah, that's still in there. Original Xbox. Again, this from my childhood into my early teens is when I owned the original Xbox. So just some of my favourite games there. 360. So this is for me in my teens. So the last couple of years at school, and then when I left school. So there's a lot of the 360 for me is the best console to collect for at the moment. It's just mega cheap games, but they're not shy. A lot of the games are fantastic as well. Loads of fun to be had on them. Yeah, so I've got a few there, but not as many as some of these other tubers who have millions. So down here we've got some Minecraft books and other random books, but in particular down here is game guides. So I've got a limited edition one for Destiny, collector's edition of Battlefront, the first Battlefront in the new releases. Fable Anniversary, that's a collector's edition, and it's got this lovely gold paper, which is like, look how shiny that is, it's great. Pokemon Alpha Omega, there's a National Pokedex, Sun and Moon, that's a guide, some gaming Guinness World Records, some normal. So unfortunately I used to have loads of these, and I left them in my old house when I moved in the attic. My mum used to buy me one every year, so she's just sort of kept that up into as an adult. Some Halo novels down there. I've read all those, fantastic, really enjoyed them. Some Disney videos and some Pokemon videos. A guitar. We'll not play the guitar. Some other bits and pieces on here. Fire Engine, Oscar's Scan. It's quite damaged by the sun, that, unfortunately. Down here we've got Warhammer, so that's the Age of Sigmar set. Tommy might get excited about that if he watches. In this box there's some Skylanders and Disney and bits and pieces. Just storage, so we've got... I sort of have a separate one for PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo and Sega. They're just some controllers, some broken bits, some extra bits, loose wires and all that sort of stuff. We've got a mat there, not a mat, a Nintendo Wii balance board. This, I don't know what that is. Little Sonic head, Sonic and Knuckles, all my pictures from the army. This is my missus, she's got this Sylvanian Families. Just all the boxes for all the stuff are in here, she wants to keep hold of those, so we've got another balance board there, so two can go at once. We've got a little LCD TV with a built-in DVD player there. Originally bought that for our bedroom, and still got it. Just don't get rid of anything. Monitor, a little LCD monitor there, and then a proper old school box TV with a built-in VHS. Get in. Who remembers seeing them on If the Price Is Right? But yeah, no, these are handy. Just this is, as you can see, storage. I can't really game down here because there's no space. And rather than get rid of these, obviously that's the only VHS player I've got in the house, and I envisage that I'm going to move in the next year and I'll have more space to set them all up. We've got Skylanders on the 3DS there. We've got some other bits of boxes, some board games. These are just chucked in here for now. And then behind here, these are boxes. So I've got there's a boxed original Xbox in there. I'd like to get those games and fill it up. It's all complete apart from the games. 360 racing wheel, the Mega Drive box. We've got a Dreamcast wheel there, and then behind there we've also got a box 360. We've got a Minecraft edition Xbox 360 and some other various boxes. In this little, what do you call it, an ottoman, which is all damaged because I sat on it and broke it. I got it from Aldi or something, quite cheap. Let me just move this. So we've got a couple of like loose consoles where there's a Wii there, a PS2. In here there's some Lego and Mega Bloks, a soldering kit, some broken controllers, and then in here I keep my PlayStation controllers. So I've got quite a few different variants. So this is PS1, there's a red, a blue, I've got two of the green ones, and then I've got this grey one, and then I've got a black one. Memory cards, there's quite a few memory cards in there, different colours. mainly for the PS2, and then yeah, silver PS2 controller, pink PS2 controller, and then this one is Xbox controllers. So there's a crystal Xbox controller there. Different 360 controllers, that's the Chrome series black. We've got 2 white ones, a microphone, another microphone, and a white microphone. So there's plenty of SingStar action here. What's this one? Another black controller. So I've got plenty of controllers, which is always handy, and especially in case they break, and just to have a variety. Xbox One controller there. Right, so I'll move this stuff out the way, and then we'll go through what's in these doors. 35 minutes. I guess they are quite long, aren't they, these videos? You can skip through all the stuff you're not interested in. We've got a scanners. This is good. You scan barcodes, and in barcodes are various creatures like these monsters, and you could battle your friends by connecting it. Obviously there's no Bluetooth or Wi-Fi back then, so you'd connect it. Just a toy I had when I was younger, and I picked it up last year. Wedding certificates. We got some Mega Drive controllers in there, a notepad that came with Arceus, some of the 3DS box protectors. They're my dot stickers for organising my games. Yeah, nothing else interesting there. This drawer, we've got 2 Dreamcast controllers. Some bits and pieces, some Pokemon cards that I got. They're Japanese. I got these off Matt Metropolis 1T Matman. He sent me those for me for my birthday. This Vistaprint. So when I first started collecting, I created this business card, and I put my logo on there. That was my original logo. And the idea was to post these through people's doors on my estate, and maybe I'd be able to get in. So I had them made, I got them, and I just didn't get round to actually posting them through any doors. But I should give it a go. So it's a video, that, isn't it? I'll have to get out, post them through doors, and see if anyone contacts me. Thing is, now everybody knows. People who aren't into gaming know how expensive all this stuff is. We've got a green controller for the Xbox there. Some LG dual play gaming glasses. So I think the 3D screen works with, when you put this mode on, when it goes split screen and you put these glasses on, they'll only work for, you'll only see one screen basically, so there's no screen watching. Just random bits. This is all that's left of my new 3DS. Yeah, sad times. Yeah, nothing else really of interest in there. What else? Let's go inside here. Inside here we've got bits and pieces. So there's a 360 console there, an adapter for the Dreamcast there, which I got off Dylan from Hypertrigger X. I think there's a 360 controller. Top trumps are in that bag. Xbox 360 gaming magazines. I've got 360s everywhere. I need to get rid of them. What else? Some random bits and pieces in there. Box for the Xbox controller. In that bag is some Pokemon noodles. Super noodles with pictures of Pokemon on. What am I doing? Why am I collecting them? Hobbit. This is Warhammer painting set. This is a Hobbit. Escape from Goblin Town. It's all still in there. I've painted a bit of it, but it was dull and boring, and all the colours are dull, and that's why I've got the Warhammer. I wanted something a bit more fun. Keyboard for the Dreamcast. What else? Some Xbox boxes. Mouse. That's a mouse for the Dreamcast. And then in here we've got Fallout Vault Boy box. And then we've got, right, what's at the very back? At the very back there, I'll not get it out, but that's the Bravely Second End layer on the 3DS Special Edition box. Then we've got Disney Infinity 3.0, Nintendo Wii, Skylanders Imaginators, and a PS3 boxed. And there's some stuff under there. Oh, look, another balance board. That's the third one. What else? More boxed games, board games. Right, we're getting there. We've been through this, haven't we? Racing wheel. Yeah, we've been through all that. Whoa, whoa. Okay, we nearly had a disaster then. Just be careful not to wake up Luigi. Right, so we got some teddies up here. Little Sonic, Bulbasaur, Squirtle, Yoshi, Turtwig. We got Diddy Kong, R2D2, and then a Nintendo hat with an S controller, and it says Casey, which is my surname. Little sign there, so we got a little shrine for Spyro. I enjoy Spyro, and I'm a big fan, but I've got a lot of Spyro stuff. It don't blow me away. I think it's a really fun game, but I was able to build this little shrine just with all the Skylanders basically. So that's Spyro, and these are all the different. Basically, I got all the dragons and put them together. Cinder. This is Cinder. That's from one of the Spyro games as well. And he's holding another PlayStation controller, just a clear one. Right, Halo. We've got a Halo shrine. So we've got a pop figure, a little Mega Bloks, Master Chief helmet, Master Chief himself. Unfortunately, he is the Master Chief from Halo 4, so he doesn't quite look as iconic. Master Chief Collection, limited edition, with a map pack and stuff like that. Halo 5 limited edition. Blech, what a terrible game. That's Halo Reach. Really good little collector's piece this. If you're into Halo, it's got Dr. Halsey's journal in it. It's a fun read. The Halo Triple Pack. I remember I saw this in CX, left it, and I got back and I thought, no, go and get it. And I'm glad I did. Halo 4 limited edition. I got that from the £5 game challenge. Pokemon, so I've got Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon. They're boxed with steel books, and they'll remain that way because I've got the games open anyway. We've got Pokemon Alpha Sapphire Steelbook. This was Oscar's, and then he got bored, stopped playing it, and he said I could have it for the games room. So I've got little Pokemon pottering about here. This is really good. Let me turn this on. Ta-da, Pikachu in a ball. Pokemon Gold, that is the only Pokemon game of the Game Boy era and, well, before DS that I've got now. I did have Red, Blue, Yellow, Silver, Gold, Crystal, all in a mint condition, and then I sold them all like an idiot. Steelbook there for Arceus. We've got Blastoise. We've got a little keyring there with Squirtle in it. I used to keep that in my PC. When the lights had come on, you'd see it. Pokeball Plus. I was buzzing about that when that came out. Got it, and there's only one game you can play it on. Let's Go Pikachu, which was good, but yeah, it's a bit redundant now. We've got a DS Lite Black there. If I can get a box for that, that would be pretty good. Some Top Trumps. What else? We've got some big Pokemon cards. We've got a 2DS, and we've got some stylus, just random bits really. Right. We're nearly at the end. Right, so in here we've got Pokemon cards. So we've got some decks that I use to play the game with. Just a collection of cards. Some of these are Oscars. Most interesting one is this 2-player started set. So that's the original Wizards of the Coast base set. Basically you get a deck. There's the shiny Machamp, there's a shiny Vaporeon. Yeah, just different stuff of Pokemon really. What's that? Oh, that's McDonald's. Still sealed, I've not opened it, McDonald's cards. We've got Amiibos. When I first started collecting, Amiibos came out and everyone was going wild for them. I only ever bought 3. I got a Pikachu one, which is there. I opened and used for Smash Bros. And then I got these 2, Star Fox and Yoshi. It was still sealed, but they're not in minty condition or anything. And then there's just other sealed stuff in here. We've got a Skylanders. He needs to go in that box. We've got a sealed Vibration pack. sealed Buzz 2. 2 sealed Dreamcast controllers, a sealed remote for the PlayStation. Yeah, I kind of just put all my sealed stuff in there. I originally bought those controllers, those Dreamcast ones. So I watched a pickups video that I made. Was it my first? Yeah, my first one. And I said I spent 15 quid on 2 controllers for the Dreamcast and 2 memory card units, which is sealed as well, but I don't know where they are. And I think they go for about 50-60 quid now. So, I mean, you've got to chuck in inflation and all that sort of stuff. It's probably not a massive profit, but I'm glad just to have 2 brand new, so when I do come to use them, they're brand new. This is a little, it's my old PC desk, but it's now a little work desk, if you will. So Oscar's got pops, and sometimes when I slam this door, these walls are paper thin. I slam that door, which is off its hinge slightly. It needs larger screws going in, really. And sometimes I knock these off. So he's broke his leg and 2 arms, so I've got to super glue them back on. This is a phone tripod I've got to glue back on. Some lights. This is a cool little picture. Pokemon. I bought that from playing Manchester, I think, the first one I went to, and we spoke about those, didn't we? And that's me, my wife, and Oscar, who was on holiday last year. Underneath there's some future pickups, some PlayStation games and other games which I need to sieve through, and then a little unit, and then we're done. And Luigi, he's a sleepy boy today, aren't you? Sleepy boy. Hiya. He's a Doberman, 14-week-old Luigi. He's great, aren't you? You're great. So this is sort of I just do retro gaming here. So 360, or PS3 and all that sort of stuff, I don't really bother with a great deal. I'd like to, but I just don't have space. Could maybe get something on here, but I'm happy sat there. All these are easily just to plug in and play. And yeah, I have loads of fun. So, that was quite long, but I think they generally are, aren't they? But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that. Maybe there's the person who like the game room tours. I like watching game room tours. I find them quite relaxing. I like seeing people's collections and how they display them, and I don't know, they're good fun. So yeah, that's how I display mine. And people have different size rooms. Some people have a little cupboard under the stairs. Some people have a corner of a room. Some people use the bedroom. And like I said, some people have a full floor, a gaming pad. Yeah, I hope in the future. So I'm looking to move in the next 12 months, I'll be buying my first home, and obviously one of the first things I'm thinking is, where will my games room be? I'd love like an old terraced house with a basement, but the wife's not really keen on that. So we'll just have to see. I mean, I wouldn't mind one of those 3 floors and have a full dedicated room, but a full dedicated floor. But again, I don't think my wife will be too keen on that. So we'll see. But cheers for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. And yeah, if you've not done a games room tour yourself, get one done, and let us have a look. All right. Cheers. Bye bye.